So, read a sign, and there actually are a couple of buildings that did survive. This one is the old barn. Obviously, the solar panels are not original to the structure. But, you know, Troy had an interesting question, and I do find it to be an interesting sort of a thing, is did they just, I mean, look at this. Did they just go out and harvest coral and use coral with cement mortar to build these buildings? And if so, that's just
very, very different from what we would do today, that's for sure.
I mean, we went snorkeling yesterday and the video did not work out. Sorry about that, guys. But there's been a bleaching event. And so, because the ocean temperatures are rising and the corals can't survive the heat. And so because of this bleaching event, there's a whole lot of dead coral.
What happens, coral will bleach, which means they'll expel all the bacteria out of them, or all the little microbes out of them that give them color. Because normally they're just white, right, normally, by themselves. But when they bleach, they'll actually expel the bacteria out of themselves to try to conserve what energy they have. And if the temperature comes back down, then the coral will live. But if the temperature stays high for too long, then the coral can actually die, because those bacteria, while they do take some from the coral, they also provide it food. And so they need to have those little microbes in them in order to survive. It's like a community.
And unfortunately, here in Florida, in the Keys area, we're getting notices that there has been an unprecedented bleaching event over the last few years.
Yeah, last year down in a couple of places they had really high temperatures, even for divers that were down at 60 feet or so.
When the water is
still in the 90s,
still in the 90s, down 60 feet, that's far too high for the coral to survive. And so there's been a massive bleaching event.
So a lot of them we saw were coming back when we were there, but
there's still a lot of dead coral, and coral, it honestly looks like coral bones sitting there. And I really wish that the camera case that I had for my iPhone had worked, but it made everything blurry, so you can't actually tell what anything is, so no video. But I mean, we're walking here going, okay, I can see why somebody would build a house here. This is absolutely a lovely, lovely place.
Until the hurricanes come.
Well, yeah, as Troy says, until the hurricanes come.
Which is why there's no longer a house here.
So we are going to take a stroll. Is the path over this way?
I don't know.
There's supposed to be a path. We haven't found it yet. But, I mean, you have Biscayne Bay on one side, which is protected and by these barrier islands. So this is one of the barrier islands that protects the bay. So on that side you have Biscayne Bay, and over here you just have the ocean out to the Atlantic out to the reefs, which again help to protect the barrier islands. And so it's just, I mean, it's lush, it's gorgeous. I'd build a house here in a heartbeat. I'd love to own an island like this. Well, until the hurricanes come.